welcome to Insert Title Here podcast, the only podcast where I go back in time and retroactively kick my ass for the things I said about MCU Spider-Man. My name's Devon of VO. I do the voice acting thing and stuff. Other guys, say hi.
I'm Adam. I'm Technical Game Mix. I do the video stuff, and hopefully by the time this goes up, I'll have my Christmas special out on time. Hopefully.
Bitch. You bitch. You Merry Christmas, bitch.
Merry, Merry, Merry Christmas. And Happy Krampus. Happy Krampus. Third person, introduce yourself.
I don't remember who the fuck I am or what the fuck I was going to say this episode of the Insert Title Here show. That is not a podcast, but a show, because if it was a podcast, it would be on the Apple iPod, and the Apple iPod is discontinued back in the year 1998 when Steve Jobs died of a radioactive tumor in his crotch.
I thought he had Ligma.
He didn't have
Who's Steve Jobs?
Back in the 90s, we had Cash, Jobs, and Walmart. Now we only have Walmart.
That's not at all how that goes. Anyways, guys. So yeah, it is. This should be going live on what? Crimbus Eve.
This is Crimbus Eve.
This is Crimbus Eve. That's right. Emergency recording on Crimbus Eve. We got to record it and post it and everything. So
the story behind the scandal, boys, is that I was editing the podcast and my shit blue screened again because Windows 10. You know, Windows 10. I don't have to elaborate further. Just Windows 10. Fucking and a blue screen, but not only did a blue screen, it corrupted the hard drive because my dumbass has everything on a separate hard drive, like a hard drive disk, not an SSD, like a hard drive disk. And the hard drive disk failed and the thing corrupted and we lost all the shit. So now on this fine, spectacular, dandy Christmas Eve that I have roughly 2 hours to get ready to go rush to work, we are now recording an emergency episode.
Fun.
Well, I'm going to recommend you some really good hard drives because I do actually have a really good one. As in a mechanical hard drive I use for Adobe stuff because, weirdly enough, Adobe is one of those things where it's better off to use a mechanical over an SSD for a scratch disk. I'm going to recommend you a good one.
Adobe, more like, don't say the thing that you want to say because I didn't have to come back and edit it out for liability reasons, you fuck-ass fucking piece of fuck. So please don't fucking say the thing you want to say, but that should tell you exactly what the fuck I mean, audience at home. It's always morally correct to come on the couch.
Anyway, so I finally got to see the Spider-Man.
Yeah, he's a scooter dooter.
I saw the Spider-Man. I don't want to post any spoilers. I usually give people enough time to see the film itself, but I will go ahead and say this. Every problem that I have previously stated I ever had with MCU Peter has been resolved. Not only that, but this is probably one of the best MCU films that has been made in general. And it's in my top 3 Spider-Man films now. Like, hands down. Like, I need to go watch it again.
I'll wait for it hit streaming. I need to catch up on the Marvel films. Like we were talking about this a bit before we start recording. I haven't seen anything past Endgame because I was like, everything's in a nice little bow now, tied up. I'm good.
Yeah, you don't really have to watch anything past Endgame, but I mean, the cool thing was like if you've seen Daredevil, that was neat.
I actually haven't seen Daredevil.
You haven't seen Daredevil?
No.
Okay, well,
it
was pretty neat.
I probably should. Apparently, like the show's good.
Hot take. The best thing about Daredevil was the theme song. That opening theme fucking slapped, dude. That was such a fucking slapper, you know, dude. That opening theme song of Daredevil is one of the best fucking, like, superhero themes I've ever fucking heard. And it's just the opening theme of a fucking Netflix-ass show. And it just goes that hard. And every single time I fucking hear it, I, like, almost start crying and, like, chills go down my spine and shit. I'm like, why is this the fucking theme song to fucking Netflix-ass Daredevil? God, this song deserved better.
There's something wrong with me, because I heard you say chills, and I'm expecting it to be like, number 15, Daredevil theme song.
Number
You've done that joke
15.
so many times.
You would not expect to walk up to Daredevil while he is wearing a sock on his head, but then you would realize that Daredevil's probably blind, and so he doesn't need any eye holes. Number 14, Devon. How's Kevin?
Yes. But anyway, yeah, Spider-Man was good.
That's good. That's
Don't
good
walk
to hear.
away.
I'm
Really
glad
good.
you enjoyed it.
It was very good. I like I said, I'm gonna watch it again.
Devon,
Glad.
don't walk away. When you walk away, you don't hear me say, What did Kevin do this time? Don't let him get away.
I'm just not acknowledging anything.
7-Eleven is the way that you're making me feel tonight, Devon.
7-Eleven as a feeling? I thought it was a place you went and got.
Okay, Adam, for context, because you're probably missing out. So yesterday, December 23rd,
yes.
the day before Christmas. So we like to call it Christmas Eves.
Yes.
Devon went to 7-Eleven because all the other stores were fucking closed, and so he went to 7-Eleven, and his nemesis Kevin was there, right? So his nemesis Kevin was like, "Oh, you know, it's Christmas Eve. I'm not gonna fuck with you this time, man. Just whatever. Grab what you need. I'll check you out. You know, it'll be a nice, easy process." And Devon is cautious, but Devon believes in the best in everybody, right? Devon believes that every single person deserves a chance at rehabilitation, that everybody can, when given the opportunity, come around and be like a better overall person and shit. So he's like, all right, I'm going to be cautious. I'm not going to let my guard down because, you know, fool me once, shame on whoever, fool me twice, you know, fool me a third time, you can't get fooled again. But like fucking, you know, he's cautious but optimistic. So he grabs his little muffin cakes. He grabs fucking another box of muffins. He grabs the third box of muffins. He really loves the chocolate chip muffins.
Whoa.
It's like the chocolate chip mini muffins specifically.
Addiction?
Yeah, he's addicted.
I tuned out. I tuned out like 5 seconds into this story.
He has an addiction to the chocolate chip mini muffins that 7-Eleven
The
sells.
Entenmann's Little Bites things?
No, not the Entenmann's. Specifically the 7-Eleven's brand, because the Entenmann's have like too much of like an artificial sweetness to them there. But for whatever reason, the cheaper 7-Eleven brand ones have more of like a maple sweetness to them. So he prefers those because you combine like the cocoa-ness of like the chocolate chips. And then the fucking mapleness of like the breading.
I wonder if he knows. I wonder if he realizes that like the more like he does this, the more likely I'm just about to shout a Spider-Man spoiler. I just kind of want to do it.
So fucking like he goes up to the counter. You know he's got like
still going.
He's got 3 fucking boxes of fucking chocolate chip mini muffins and all that shit. And fucking.
So there's a part in the movie where Andrew Garfield gets punched in the dick.
Does he come?
No. He comes all over the screen. It's crazy.
Hell yeah. He goes, how do I shot web?
The exact one in the same fucking place.
So he goes up to the counter and Kevin's like, all right, so 3 boxes of mini muffins, dude. And then Devon's like, oh shit. All right, here we go. He's going to give me shit. And then Kevin just picks him up, scans him. He goes, all right, that'll be $7.25. And then Devon's like, wait, $7.25? It's 3 whole boxes of mini muffins. And he's like, yeah, well, they're on a discount. Buy 2, get 1 free. And he's like, but even 2 boxes should be like 3 plus 3 equals 6. They're $6.65 each. Not $6.65 each. They're $3.65 each. Fucking, you know, do some math with tax. That's more than $7.25.
No, that's.
And Kevin looks him right in the face. He goes, bro, I'm gonna level with you. I'm quitting this job today. Take the fucking muffins for $7.25. And Devon immediately like, that's a crime. And Kevin's like, no, it's not a crime. I'm selling them to you, Devon. I'm selling them to you. I'm telling you, give me money for these goods. Devon, if anybody's committing a crime here, it's me for defrauding the business. And Devon goes, you just said the business? And Kevin goes, don't fucking get me on my stutter. And Devon goes, you have a stutter. And Kevin's like, yes, I have a fucking stutter. And I have to fucking get up and train in the mirror. Dude, do you want the muffins or not? It's at this point, Devon doesn't know what the fuck's going on. Devon's like, all right.
I never know what the fuck's going on.
Is this a trap? Is Kevin fucking with me? Or is he legitimately just like upset right now? So Devon goes, yes, I want the muffins. And pulls out the money. And he goes to hand Kevin the money. But Kevin's like, why did you have an upward inflection at the end of that? And Devon's like, look, man, at the risk of you getting more mad at me, I don't know if you're doing a bit or if this is legitimate anger on your part. And I don't know how to respond. And Kevin just kind of lets out, you know, like a breath. Not a frustrated one, but one that's like, he's like, all right, I got to take a step back and calm down kind of breath. You know, he goes, it's not a bit. I'm sorry. I didn't know you weren't fucking with me. And then Devon and Kevin just kind of looked at each other just for a little bit. And they both realized for the first time since they've met, neither of these motherfuckers are fucking with each other. and they realized Christmas Eve is actually the most important holiday of all of them. That's why Devon's super upset today, because it's not Christmas Eve anymore. And Kevin didn't make the fucking coffee right, and it was cold when he arrived this morning, and everything's back to its normal fucking ways.
On the topic of Christmas,
I don't understand a fucking thing that you said. I didn't understand a goddamn fucking word. I honestly, man, I think you're going through some shit, and you're taking it out on me, and I don't appreciate it.
Devon says I'm going through some shit. This is the motherfucker who went to goddamn 7-Eleven on the morning of Christmas Eve to get some coffee, to get some goddamn coffee, and fucking it was cold.
I hate 7-Eleven coffee, by the way.
Oh, it's fucking...
It's rank.
It's definitely a bean water.
Like, as an expert in bad coffee, 7-Eleven coffee is up there in bad coffee.
I'm so glad you didn't call yourself an expert in coffee, because I was about to have to edit myself coming in there being like, allegedly.
Yeah. As an expert in bad coffee specifically. Like, the expert in coffee here is going to be Devon.
Yeah. Speaking of Devon...
Speaking of Devon, what's your favorite Christmas movie?
I don't have one. I
Home
don't like
Alone?
Christmas films. I don't like Christmas films. They're just.
You don't like Home Alone?
I don't like.
It's been a long time since I watched Home Alone, but I don't really much care for Christmas films because it's just like.
I quite like Home Alone.
I don't really have an opinion. I really don't because.
Okay. What about Die Hard? I will, for the sake of argument, I'll allow Die Hard as a Christmas film right now.
I like Die Hard.
You say you'll allow it, as in, like, in most circumstances, you don't allow it?
I don't, because, hear me out on this one, Die Hard is a banger, but limiting it to just Christmas is a sin.
I mean, I only watch RoboCop on New Year's.
Right, but the thing is, we could put RoboCop on in August, and, it's fine.
Okay,
I'm right. You know I'm right. You know I'm right.
A Christmas film?
It's not New Year's if I
hang
can't
on,
watch RoboCop.
Pause.
Disclaimer.
Disclaimer.
Okay.
Disclaimer.
I'm not a fucking nerd who gives a shit whether Die Hard is a Christmas film or not. That's an argument for a bunch of weirdos on, like, things that call themselves podcasts fucking can go do. Okay? But fucking... A Christmas film does not have to only be watched on Christmas, and the same for every other holiday. Independence Day is on year-round, even though it's a 4th of July movie. You know what I mean?
I never see it on TV or listings around, like, July, like, maybe late May.
It's because his name is Independence Day. What the fuck else are you going to put on TV? The Patriot, when Mel Gibson's like, the Jews are the cause of all the gonorrhea on the strippers in Las Vegas. No,
actually,
you can't let a man who speaks that level of fucking insanity on fucking stage anymore.
Actually, me and Liz typically watch like a random Netflix or like show like that. We just binge watch it on Independence Day because what else are we gonna do? We grill and then we watch something we mean to watch.
But yeah, like Devon said, the only movie I watch on a holiday is fucking RoboCop on New Year's Eve and then the New Year's Day.
What about like Batman Returns? You guys like Batman Returns? It's set at Christmas, though. I will agree that like I really like the Tim Burton Batman.
I don't like any Batman movie pre Batman Begins.
Oh really?
Yep.
That surprised me because I figured like particularly Returns would be right up your alley, but that's fine. It's each their own.
Returns is okay.
Yeah. Well, yeah, with Michelle Pfeiffer as Catwoman, which made me realize that I have a complex around women who can kick my ass.
I don't remember.
Seriously,
I don't remember.
Young Adam's sexual awakening was Michelle Pfeiffer in Batman Returns. Which explains a lot about me.
Wait, Xander, you don't remember what Michelle Pfeiffer looks like?
Yeah, every single person who isn't like you guys. Okay, so every person who's not in my personal life, who isn't like you guys, is just kind of replaced with different character models that are essentially you guys, just palette swapped.
Fair enough.
My brain has only so much like storage power, and most of it is like random episodes of Family Guy. So I have to optimize where I can.
Your brain is George Lucas's TiVo.
Yeah. Well, so it's like that episode of Family Guy where it opens up where they're at the fucking like the Quahog little fucking like festival thing, and they're like, all right, it's time to catch the greased up deaf guy, and everybody tries to capture the greased up deaf guy, and he's like, yeah. And he keeps getting around, and everybody like tries to get him, and somebody finally gets their arms around him. He slips out like, y'all ain't never gonna catch me, and runs off in the woods. Yeah, there you go. I don't like Family Guy. I don't even like Family Guy, but that's my brain.
All right, fair enough. What about okay, because I think we've all established my favorite Christmas film is Muppets Christmas Carol. You guys like that one, or is it kind of
I get okay. If I had to pick a Christmas film to say I enjoy, of the two, there's two I would say that I actually can stomach watching.
Yeah.
And I actually enjoy Elf. I'll be honest.
I've never actually seen it.
It's a film. I don't hate it. I'll watch it. And then I also like watching The Grinch, the Jim Carrey one. Like it's just a one that I have good memories with. So that's that.
For the first time ever, actually, when we were getting ready to do the tree, wife had me actually watch the original cartoon because I'd never seen it before. That was fun.
The original Grinch cartoon?
Yeah, with Boris Karloff doing the voice of the Grinch and all that stuff. That was kind of fun. She also had me watch for the first time ever. I've seen it in bits and I've seen it completely out of order, so I've seen the whole thing but never like start to finish. Finally watched A Christmas Story, and I do not get the obsession with it in this country.
I've never watched it.
Like, I don't get why, like, there's a channel... For those of you who don't know, so The Christmas Story was directed by... I forget the name of the guy, right? I'm more familiar with his other Christmas film, because he also directed Black Christmas, which is a Christmas-themed slasher movie, which is phenomenal, by the way. Thoroughly recommend it. I'm more familiar with his other Christmas film. But basically, it's about a little boy who... It's set, I think, in the 50s, or maybe even the 60s. A little boy who wants a BB gun for Christmas, and the whole thing's kind of like... It's like Family Guy style, like sketch comedy with a loose...
You'll shoot your eye out, kid!
Yeah, that's the line everyone knows, right? The repeated line. Yeah. And like it's not bad. It's just like I don't get why it's become the staple American Christmas film.
Marketing.
Because back home it's Wizard of Oz.
It was marketing.
Oh, it was good marketing?
Yeah, so it had to do with so the movie completely bombed when it came out. And it just was like fucking just nothing for years. I'm paraphrasing a lot, so fucking YouTube fact checkers or fucking Spotify, whatever. You can't comment on Spotify.
Comment
YouTube
section,
fact checkers and fucking people on SoundCloud who have too much time on their hands fucking don't fucking at me. I don't care. But fucking like it bombed when it came out, and then eventually like a network was like, this is a super cheap license, and they picked it up, and then it became like a hit because they would just play that all day. And then eventually it became like an almost AstroTurf tradition because of that. Like not literally AstroTurf, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's weird because it's like a 20 like so. This is again for foreigners who aren't familiar with it. I think it's TBS or one of those type of channels has a no joke from midnight to midnight 24-hour Christmas marathon where they play the film on loop.
Yeah, Turner Broadcasting Station.
Thank you.
Yes,
yeah. And I don't know why.
All right, well, you got me looking into something because he said he did a movie called Black Christmas. I looked up what the films he's directed. You know the last film he directed before he died?
What was it?
Super Babies. Baby Geniuses 2.
No!
He was responsible for a fair share of war crimes. Yeah. But what's his name again?
Bob Clark.
Thank you.
He that's the last film he made before he died.
I promised myself I was going to yell this episode.
But yeah, he did Black Christmas, which has been remade twice. Pro tip, just ignore the fucking remakes. The original's actually quite... It's a Christmas film slasher film. Like, what do you want? What do you want? It's... didn't he also... What else did he do horror-wise? He did... No, he didn't do a horror film. He did Porky's. That was it. It's the same guy who did Porky's.
Nothing he could ever do, ever, in his entire fucking life, career, whatever, can make up for the fact that he made Super Babies! Baby Geniuses 2!
He also made Baby Geniuses. He made both of those. He directed both of them. He didn't write them, but he directed... Oh, no, he wrote the first one, but he directed the second... Well, the first and second one.
Look,
he is, like, breaking down.
Look, it could be worse. It could be a lot worse.
No, it can't! Baby...
Have you seen that film?
Super Babies is the worst movie I've ever seen in my entire fucking life, and not only have I seen it, I've had to see it multiple times because it came out in a time before the goddamn internet streaming existed and when I lived in the middle of the goddamn nowhere.
It still could be worse.
No!
Bet. I bet you I can find a film which mentally scars you more.
You cannot.
Super Baby.
I have tried, but I'm no longer 12 years old, and my brain is not as malleable and is covered in pain.
I accidentally slapped my mic. I'm sorry.
It's okay, Devon.
I'll take care of it in post, brother.
Okay.
So you know how I've got a video game that will break everybody here? I
No.
think I've just got a film for Xander. I just need to confirm it before I...
Tell me the name. I've probably already seen it.
Ooblets.
Yeah, I've already seen that.
Ooblets.
Ah, fair enough, yeah. Damn. Okay.
Yeah, didn't I Hate Everything cover that one?
Maybe? I can't remember.
It was either him or Red Letter Media or some other fucking dude
It's
who
got
did
Christopher
coverage.
Lloyd in it.
Yeah, I finally started watching the Red Letter Media Star Wars reviews. Funniest fucking shit. Oh my god. That was hilarious. I'm sorry.
This is the worst thing that's happened since my son.
I've never watched
You
Red
want
Letter
some
Media,
coffee?
I never watched Red Letter Media, but everyone tells me
Okay.
I should. So I go,
So the
You
blanket
like it.
reviews are like, obviously everybody fucking talks about those, whatever. My favorite Red Letter Media shit is their Best of the Worst series. I love that series. I will stop everything I'm doing to go watch a new episode when it drops. The first time I was homeless, the first night I was homeless, I binge watched like fucking an entire fucking like season's worth of Best of the Worst in that fucking hotel room, and fucking like watched Ghostbusters that same night, and fucking like that. I watched the entire fucking like Best of the Worst catalog and the entire Red Letter Media back catalog during homelessness to like distract myself when I wasn't at work and shit, and like while I was waiting to get my job and waiting for my house to go through and all that shit. Like Red Letter Media this is gonna be the gayest thing I've ever said on recorded media, but that's okay because I don't have a gender, so I'm gay for everybody. Red Letter Media is no joke one of the most important fucking like internet fucking like media in my life, and I would not have been able to get through homelessness sane without having to do like crack cocaine or something if it wasn't for the fact that like Best of the Worst existed. And goddamn, I love them boys.
I'll check it out at some point. Like, it's one of those things I've been told multiple times. I'd probably like it. I've never looked into it.
Please, for the love of God, don't get outed as having done something later on Red Letter Media. I will literally go back and fucking pull this episode down and just not even acknowledge that I did this. Holy shit! Guys, okay, sorry, Devon, to cut you off because I knew you were going to say something, but real quick.
No, it's cool.
I just realized December 24th, episode 24. Holy shit.
Oh my god!
Oh yeah.
Wow! That was unintentional, because we took a week off. Like, oh my god, we should be episode 20. Wow.
Wow.
People be like, I don't ever want to feel like I did that day, but I do want to feel
I don't ever
like I did that day.
feel like
Don't go too crazy because I have to edit that out for
Damn it.
copyright.
Okay. Disclaimer, Susan, please don't hurt us. We are but wee peons on a massive landscape. Please don't fuck us.
Okay, you know, maybe we'll be able to get away with the Schnee version. You know what the Schnee version is?
Schnow never won a Schnee.
I don't ever want a
Like
Schnee. Like I Schnee, that Schnee, Snake me do the Schnee, Snake me Schnee.
I actually really like that song.
I
There was a war crime of a fucking cover back home by a girl, I say girl band loosely. We had this obsession with boy bands and girl bands for a long time in the UK, like kind of like how we'd sing it now out of South Korea with like bands like BTS and whatever. But there was one called, I think it was Sugar Babes, which was like a UK based girl group, and they did a horrific war crime of a cover of that song, and it still to this day annoys me.
Fuck?
I don't know what. Oh, that's fucking weird. I saw that.
What is that? I can't even see what it
It's
is.
awful taste but great execution. It's like taxidermy wine holders. Anyway, no, actually, I was gonna say, like, I don't know which band I dislike more. Is it Pearl Jam or is it Red Hot Chili Peppers?
Why the
Pearl
fuck
Jam.
would you do? What the fuck? What?
Fuck Jam.
What?
Why the fuck do I don't like Red Hot Chili Peppers? Because their lead, their lead singer's a douche. He's a piece of shit. Apparently,
I'm a
from
piece
what,
of
My
shit.
friend's been telling me. Yeah, but you're not a douche.
I am a douche, Devin. Think about the history of our friendship and all the horrible fucking things I've done, not just to everybody around us, but to you specifically. And you still like my music.
Yeah, but that's different.
Yeah, I'm honest. Xander is kind of a cunt. And I mean that in an endearing way.
Endearing?
Disclaimer. As a British man, that's a term of endearment. So get over it, you bunch of cunts.
Oh, we just got demonetized on the platform we're not monetized on anyway.
Woo!
Like, I like the music. Okay, I'm just going to go back and say that. I like the music. I like Red Hot Chili Peppers music. It's just the lead singer, man.
Okay,
Is
that's
it
fine.
like Tom Morello from Rage Against the
Yeah.
Machine turning out to be a complete knob jockey?
Who?
Tom Morello, the guitarist from Rage
Tom
Against the
Morello.
Machine.
How did he turn out to be a knob jockey? What happened? He's just selling NFTs now or some dumb shit?
No, it's just like this is like 10 years ago now. He got kicked out of some. I forget exactly what he was doing, but he was acting like a right entitled piece of shit and was like demanding special preferential treatment because he was famous. Basically, kind of forgetting, that this is the guy behind Rage Against the Machine, and got kicked out of a place and was acting like a complete entitled bastard about the entire thing.
Kurt Russell.
What the fuck about Kurt Russell?
Kurt Russell started a band.
He started a band.
Yeah, it was called Disturbed.
No.
Yeah, Kurt Russell started a band called
No.
Disturbed back in the 90s. With Dan Donegan and Mike Wengren and Steve Kmack.
You're full of shit.
Yeah, Kurt Russell was the vocalist.
Oh, here it is. Yeah, he got into it. So to explain the whole thing, Tom Morello got kicked out of a bar, in Seattle called 5 Point Restaurant, and tried to make a huge stink out of it at Twitter. And then tried to flip it on there, willing to forgive the Seattle evil egg empire 5 Points Cafe bar if they fully embrace $15 minimum wage thing. He tried to flip it into that thing, to which they responded with a long statement, which kind of ratioed. This is before ratio of the thing. This is like 2009, 10. So this is like by then. And it's like, tweet from our pal Tom Morello, blah blah. For the record, Tom Morello, the 5 Point is totally pro worker. We try to pay more than any other small restaurant on top of any other higher pay, with the health insurance, paid sick days, paid time off, retirement, and profit share. Sorry if you had an issue with our staff, but typically our staff is awesome, and when they are not, it's typically a reflection of the customer. Act like a prick and get treated like a prick. I have to say, you're attacking a small business without knowing anything about it or addressing your problem with them directly before you go on a public rant pretty much sucks. Just also a ton of respect for you, and since I've been a fan for years, both of you work in Rage and you work for Workers' Rights since. P.S. Rock stars don't get special treatment at the 5 Point. We couldn't give less of a fuck, sorry. And P.S.S. I'm the owner of 5 Point. I've worked to raise minimum wage in Seattle and support the same nationally. Worked to get paid sick days laws in Seattle. I'm supporting city-sponsored retirement plans for employees of small businesses. I hope you do the same for your employees on the road. Ow. P.S.S.S. Turns out he and his crew didn't get let in as his place was at Turns out he and his crew didn't get let in as the place was at capacity and there was a line. No one was being let in. According to our doorman, who I totally trust, Tom and his crew were all totally rude. Quoted from our door guy, I knew who he was, we had no room, and his whole party was being rude. He wanted a special room in the back. Clearly had no idea what it is like inside. I've told bigger rock stars than him no before. So yeah, Tom Morello is a brick.
Tom's
Who hadn't heard about this?
Tom's first mistake was going to Seattle.
Yeah.
Places
Tom's
a
second
fucking
mistake was that
cesspool.
like a douchebag.
I'm sorry.
But yeah, no, I remember there being stories like this, and there's been multiple stories like this about Tom Morello. So like, it doesn't surprise me at all that people are douche canoes.
I'm sorry, dude. After having been homeless in Seattle, I just have no sympathy for any businesses out there. They treat everybody like fucking garbage, and I just don't give a fuck anymore. Tom Morello probably was totally a fucking dick, and that was also back in 2009 and completely a different era from where I live there. But like at this point, if somebody was like, "Oh, this business treated me like shit in Seattle," they'd be like, "Yeah, probably." They don't even fucking let you use the bathroom like a human being. Hate this fucking place.
God, speaking of which, I looked at my time hop. Speaking of rough cities in America, I looked at my time hop the other day, and I realized it's been a little over a year since I walked out of that job interview in Reading. Have I told this story on the podcast?
Probably
I don't
not.
think you have.
Okay, so this is a fun one. So it is like December 16th or 17th. It was right after we had like a shitload of snow here in Pennsylvania. I got a job interview for a place in Reading, and I figured, okay, well, at the time I was still furloughed from Best Buy, but I was still doing the random shifts here and there, and I really did need a full-time job. So I was like, fuck it, I'll just go to this interview now. They were really insistent on getting me in, so I went in there, and they were being kind of vague about what it was. According to the posting, it was like working as with an insurance company and doing some kind of paperwork filing position. It was labeled as an office position. It wasn't really labeled as a sales position. So I get that, and I find a parking garage because it's in a really rough part of Reading. For those of you who don't know, Reading is like the crack and heroin central of Pennsylvania. It is a rough city. No amount of gentrification can save it. Like, it is beyond help, if I'm completely blunt with you. I hate to be like that blunt about it, but Reading is basically where they dumped the people they didn't want to deal with.
Did you say
it's a product of its own?
Did you say no amount of gentrification can save it?
Oh yeah, they're trying to gentrify it. It's so funny. They're dumping all these rich white kids in like South Reading in the hopes they can gentrify it. It's not. No, it's not gonna work.
Gentrification is only ever a fucking bad thing anyway. The only way
exactly,
you fucking,
and it's
like,
actually making it worse.
Is invest in the fucking neighborhood and the people there.
Yeah, they're like, oh well, they'll bring in business. They'll bring in like the white parents' money, and that's no. It's actually made it fucking worse because they just brought in like. Whatever, I'm getting off topic. So I park up in a parking garage because it's a really bad part of Reading as well. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna park up in a garage, and I'm gonna, pay the fee, get it locked up or whatever. And I start walking, and I'm using my phone for directions, and I'm looking around. My phone sends me the wrong way, and I walk for about a block and a half down the wrong direction. And as I pass one of the blocks, a random guy yells at me, goes, "Hey, buddy!" and starts, and I ignore him. I'm walking past because I'm like, whatever, I've got a place to be. And, this guy, I got a quick glance at him, like, completely messed out. No teeth, no mask either. And this is December 2020. I mean, it's bad in December 2021, but this is a year ago before we had access to vaccines. So you can imagine how I was like, I'm not dealing with this guy. Kept on walking down, realized I'm going the wrong way. The guy is following me, like, more and more and more, and, like, yelling out to me, and I'm like, whatever. So I realize I'm going the wrong way, stop and go, shit. Realize I've got to turn back around, and he's right there. And so I go to walk past him. He grabs my jacket to pull me close. I don't know what the hell he was trying to do. Point is, I took one from the Karate Kid, took the leg out, and just floored the guy.
Sweep the leg.
Yeah, floored the guy and just started swearing at him. The guy looked terrified. I think the worst part of that entire encounter was across the street. There was a bunch of kids coming out of like a corner store, and of course, a bunch of kids see that they saw what happened. They were laughing at the guy on the floor. I think one of them had their phone out recording it. So there may be a video of me kicking the crap out of a homeless guy. Do apologize. That is the context. He was following me by a block and a half. And I think I said, if you touch me fucking again, I'll take out the last of your teeth. He said, I'm cool, man, I'm cool. He's on the floor, I just walk off. I'm like, whatever, I'm not dealing with this right now. Find the place I'm supposed to be. So I get inside the place I'm supposed to be at, and I'm looking around. The building smelled like mold.
I remember this. This building. You talked about this. This is like the weird fucking, I don't know about this.
Yeah, the whole building smelled like mold, and the whole place was going to fall apart any second. I'm looking around, I'm like, no one in here is wearing a mask, and it's really disgusting. And the person at the desk is kind of looks at me, oh, you here for? Yeah, I'm here for an interview. And I'm like, okay. So finally someone comes and gets me, after I'm waiting for a couple of minutes, and I'm looking around going, this is really fucking weird. And they come and get me. And she's also not wearing a mask, and we go up to where we're supposed to be for this floor, to an elevator. There is music blaring the entire time. It's supposed to be their lunch break.
Mm-hmm.
There's a fake Kobe quote on the wall, and immediately my brain is going, oh no, the red flags are already there. For anyone who's worked in this kind of sales job, a lot of these pop up, like, basically fake scam agencies will just appear. They'll intentionally lure in people from, typically from low-income areas, because they can promise you can make $1,000 a week working here doing this, and this.
And then you don't make that money.
Yeah. It's the whole thing's a complete scam. You'll never see a fucking penny. Run away. They're using like sports athletes and quotes like that, which are clearly fake and can be easily Googled to be found fake. Run away. And I get in there and I'm looking around. No one, again, is wearing a mask, and they've got like all these cheap computers from the bargain bins of Best Buys. I know this because I worked at Best Buy for a couple of years there, and I recognize the cheap HP All-in-ones they're using. None of them, they're using like cheap gaming headsets to talk to people. The music's blurring, but there's still people clearly hunched over. And I'm looking around going, they've got these people in here packed like sardines. The fire marshal would have an issue, let alone, any fucking health and safety regulator retaining COVID. But regarding COVID, sorry, I said returning COVID, sorry, whatever. So I finally get led to like a quiet, quote unquote, corner of the office where they're giving this interview out, and they hand me a sheet and they said, yeah, if you want to fill this application out, and they start talking about this job, and I'm like, I was told from the listing it would be like an office admin filing position, like an admin something. I'm like, yeah, well, here's the deal. We're gonna be you're gonna be selling insurance, and it's 5 days a week. However you work Saturdays, you'll get this extra commission. I'm like, commission? This is supposed to be an hourly position. In my mind, I'm like, okay. So I look at the application. She leaves me alone for a bit after giving me what's clearly a whole bunch of shit. And I look at the application, and it's asking me for a lot of personal information, like a lot.
Yikes!
And it's asking for other people I know's personal information as well. I look out the window. I get up after she's left me alone for a second. I look out the window. I see that same homeless guy, like, try to grab somebody else, and basically mug them. And I look over to my left, and I can hear this kid on the phone. He must be 18, 19. And I hear him selling insurance he is in no way licensed to be selling, scamming some poor old biddy. And I'm like, okay, I need to leave. I need to leave now. I've been left alone. I am taking this advantage to get out of this fucking building. So I grab the paper I had written a little bit of information down. I grab it and take it with me because I'm like, I'm not leaving this alone with these people. I look around me and I find the way back out. I walk through the maze of people. I'm like, hi, leaving as soon as I can. I get to the elevator I came up in. It's locked. There's a fucking key. I cannot get out through the way I came in. They've
Why the fuck is it locked? That's fucked up.
Yeah. I walk down to the other end where they claim, there's other businesses we share space with it, and there's nobody in there. It's empty, derelict offices.
Derelict my balls.
Uh-oh. So I start walking down, and, like, I finally find a way out. The fire escape. I take the fire escape down, get back to the entrance lobby, walk out the front door. And, like, as I'm leaving, the person in the room was saying, oh, hey, did someone speak to you? And I just walk right past. So, yeah, that's my sketchy Reading story. Walk right past, get into the car, and just leave. I'm like, as I was leaving as well, I was getting ready to pull out of the parking garage, and I look out and I can see, no joke, a shredding company literally pulls up in their back and is taking out bundles upon bundles upon bundles of, like, paper.
Don't like that.
I couldn't have made this up. If you go onto Google, you can actually, if you find the name of the place, I will not name the business because it's not there anymore. But if you look up that place, that business, my review's still there. I left a really hilariously bad Google review for them, and I added the picture of the shredding truck on the way out. I'm like, you couldn't make this shit up. But yeah, Reading sucks. Reading is a terrible place.
It sounds like a terrible place.
Some people who live in this area are like, oh, well, Philadelphia's... No. Reading is literally where the state has decided to dump people it doesn't want to deal with.
Everything I've heard about just, like, Philadelphia and, like that area in general just sounds terrible. Just being in that area just sounds bad. Like, Northeast
Philadelphia, for the most part, is fine. There's some rough areas, but for the most part, it's fine. A lot of it, I hate to say this, it's Camden spillover, which is New Jersey's dumping ground for people that doesn't want to deal with. Allentown is, for the most part, okay. It's just a lot of white collar crime in Allentown, if I'm honest with you. Reading is just avoid it. Just avoid it if you can. Just avoid it. Stay away.
I mean, I never planned on going that place anyway, but I mean, shit.
Yeah, it's where they dump. They don't want to deal with you. Great, guess what? You're being dumped right there. And you've drug relapsed again. Guess what? The prison happens to be right there. So guess where you're going. It's just convenient for the system to keep people oppressed, as not to sound like Xander too much, but it's a very convenient place to keep them oppressed, keep them down. And look, we can do a revolving door of the prison because the prison's 10 miles up the road. And keep
sounds like Shawnee, honestly. It kind of sounds like Shawnee, like the way you're describing it.
Yeah, Devon. Fuck Reading entirely.
What?
It's all Shawnee.
It's all Shawnee.
Always has been.
But yeah, then these guys wonder why I live out among the Amish. I'm gonna put up with that shit. I might put up with a few dumbasses looking for horse paste once in a while, but like, I'll take that over methods trying to mug me.
Yeah, every place has problems. Everywhere sucks, and it's a systemic issue. Let me be clear. Let me be clear. None of the issues that we complain about are necessarily the fault of the individual, as the individual has been put there because of a bunch of fucking circumstantial reasons, and the system has completely failed them. And if we lived in a fucking like any sort of fucking semblance of a system that provided or like cared about the people that fucking lived in it, they wouldn't even get to that point to begin with. However, we don't live there yet, so almost everywhere is probably like this. Like,
I think every state in this country has a city or a town like that where there's dumb people.
yeah. So
like for Jersey, it's totally Camden. For Pennsylvania, it's Reading. I don't know what it is for your guys' states, but like I've heard stories about other places like Delaware. I'm pretty sure it's Concord. You know, I've heard stories. Every state's got a city like that where they just don't want to deal with it. So it's like, yeah, here's the free housing. We're just gonna put you here.
I don't know where it is in Texas, but it probably definitely exists. Like living in it. Fucking, oh my god. Okay.
Merry Christmas, by the way.
Yeah, thanks, man. Okay. Texas fucking sucks. Like it just sucks being here. Like there's nothing here.
That's Whataburger.
Like fuck Whataburger. I don't give a fuck about Whataburger.
Whataburger's delicious, but also you're correct. Whataburger's not worth your rights.
Yeah, it's not worth my rights, dude. It's not worth man, it's so fucked up that we just basically like the separation of church and state doesn't exist here. It's like the fucking people here are so fucking wrapped up in their fucking ideologies that it affects just everybody, even in the big cities and all that shit. And it's just like, this shit needs to stop. Like, it just needs to stop. I am so just fucking done with everything here. And it's just like, people are like, well, you need to stay and vote for the change. I'm like, I've been voting for the change. I've been trying to for years, and nothing's changed. Nothing's changing. And nothing will change at this rate. It doesn't feel like it, you know? And I'm tired of putting up with it. I'm tired of being in the state where I feel like I could just fucking die at any minute.
I do find it interesting that I live in a state like this with a protected large religious group, the Amish and the Mennonites, and we don't have these issues that Texas has when it comes to like I guess religious force of will in politics. Like we pretty much, like, don't get me wrong, we've got various Republicans in office, but like it's nothing like what you guys have down there.
It's fuck awful. And
it's just
honestly,
this is not to say that Pennsylvania's had its problems. I'm well aware of the problems in Pennsylvania, but like,
yeah. Well, every state has problems, though. Yeah. I mean, it's America. Like what state doesn't have a fucking problem, dude?
Yeah, Washington's amazing. However, it's still in America, so it still fucking has a whole bunch of fucking systemic issues that no amount of fucking state work will ever fucking manage to fucking like undo or get around. We still have systemic fucking nationwide crises like gerrymandering and shit like that, and fucking lobbying and money and interest in fucking politics and all that kind of fucking shit. This is a topic I don't want to talk about anymore, or I'll get superheated.
Then we can
yeah, we can change. It's kind of like so. Me walking out of a job interview, which is okay. But it's the one time I ever walked out of a job interview. Then have you guys ever had one like that? Have you guys ever walked out of a job interview like that, or like? I mean, we've all had bad job interviews, but like,
I've had a job interview where I applied, I went through the interview process, and I just did not come back for the second bit of it. It was just like,
I've done that. I've done that as well.
The way they were describing the job made it sound like I was selling things that I don't agree with.
Yeah.
And the way the payment was based off of the sales. So I'm just like, this does not sound good. It's like, well, you could do this, like, man, like you can make this much money and you could go on these trips and blah 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 blah. I'm like, I could, but it doesn't mean I will.
And on top of that as well, they're very clearly aiming at a certain type of person who, shall we say, is seeking to... It's typically younger guys they go for, like 18, 19, 20, and this works on them because, you know, they haven't had the shit kicked out of them by real life yet. Yeah, the kind of guy who goes on Instagram and goes, I'm an entrepreneur, and then they always wind up doing this shit.
Yeah. But I've definitely walked out of jobs that really fucking ticked me off before, though. This most recent one even. So.
I have like 2-ish stories kind of related to the topic. Not like walking out of the interview, but fucking my first job I did walk out of entirely. It was a Walmart in that bumfuck fucking Shawnee, Oklahoma bullshit ass place. It was my first job ever.
Yeah.
I worked IMS, the back room that unloaded the goddamn trucks, and there was a fucking like chemical mixture of like fucking I talked about this either on the podcast or on one of my streams or some shit, or maybe even just like in general, so I know you guys generally know about this, but fucking like ammonia and bleach mixed together.
Oh, it's chlorine.
And they wouldn't let us fucking
in the back room
vent or stop the line to clean it up. And I walked out.
When was that?
Nope, I'm not dying. Fuck you. And I just left.
When was that?
That was when we lived with name. It was the very first house we lived together in. It was my very first job.
I don't even. Okay, because I don't even remember you working there.
It was right before Quick Stop. I worked there for 2 weeks. Remember, I had a crush on that one lady, and then things didn't go a certain way. So I was like, "All right, cool. Well, shit, I hate this job. Let me just quit this real quick." They were unrelated things, but they happened the same day. That's usually what like jogs your memory here. But we're in the middle of the podcast. I'm not trying to fucking name the names. The lady I dated later.
I don't. Okay, I kind of get it, but it's whatever. But still.
You dropped me off at Walmart the day I quit. I walked in there. Mm-hmm. I looked around. I looked at my badge. I just looked at this one manager. I was like, "Hey, can I like quit? Like with you? Like, can I just be like, hey, here you go. I quit, and you'll take care of that for me?" She goes, "Yeah, cool." I was like, "All right, cool. I quit. I'm sorry." And she's like, "It's cool. This place sucks." I was like, "Thank you." I just felt really validated. And then I called Devon and I was like, "Hey, I quit." He was like, "Really?" I was like, "Yeah, I quit." It was like 2 weeks in. I was like, "Yeah, I quit." He goes, "Oh, cool. The good decision. That place sucks. You want me to come get you?"
Yeah.
And then you and the hellspawn succubus demon bitch from the alternate dimension came and got me.
Hellspawn succubus demon bitch.
Yeah. Man, Devon, any really bad job interviews or quitting stories you want to share? Because it is Christmas Eve, you know. It's always a fun story to
share your quitting story, because then I have my sort of interview story after your quitting story.
Which one?
The one that you want to tell.
I'm trying to think. Jobs I quit that I kind of blew up on, but
I never quit one job, but it was for very valid reason.
Because like the only time I've ever quit a job was like when I got a better one, or I was like, I
that's a
got
bit
a better offer
different.
here. But
That's handing you 2 weeks. We're talking like full stop. I quit.
I guess the most recent one was working the escape room, because
well, yeah.
I mean, you guys know I'm not sure if I talked about how I quit, but you guys know I fucking hated that place. Like
it started out
it was
so
great
well as well. It was so sad seeing you deteriorate. It started out pretty good, and then it went
like it paid really well. It was like the best paying job I had, and I really enjoyed it. But then like, man, going from having like one of the worst employees of all time and having to fire them, and then dealing with all the shit at that job, and then trying to hire the new ones, and then like just constantly getting like micromanaged by my manager, like that's what pissed me off. Because just like, man, I did everything you asked me to do. Why are you still jumping on my ass about this? Like everything's running just fine. I run the place just fine. Like I know what I'm doing. Well, like this. So one time I was sick and I didn't come into work, and apparently the guy above me gave my contact information, my personal contact information, my phone, my cell phone number,
not like a work phone, his actual personal phone. We should probably clarify.
Yeah. He gave that to this random customer who called me. I was like, "Yeah, can I help you?" And they were just like, "Yeah, so and so gave me your information so I could set up a game." I'm like, "Oh, did he now? Okay, yeah, no, I can take care of that." And I set up the game. I stood up and my assistant manager was looking at me like, "You okay?" I'm like, "No, I quit." He's like, "What do you mean you quit?" Like, "Yeah, I just found out that so-and-so gave away my contact information, and I'm not cool with that. So bye." And I just walked out.
Yeah, because like, okay, I don't want to say what I currently do. However, I handle a lot of personal information. That would be a huge just legal fucking nightmare scenario.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Yeah. No. Yeah.
Like,
No.
wow. Like, there's certain... So, without... If your personal information is handed, basically, to a third party you are not aware of or consented to, that is... Jesus Christ.
Fun fact, buddy. We actually looked into this. And there's a fucking Supreme Court ruling already on this shit that an employer can give out your fucking information. And it's up to the state to implement a law that otherwise says that. And Texas does not have a law, and it was completely within their legal right to give out his fucking dumbass phone number because of dumbass fucking corporations rule everything.
I'd have to look into it in Pennsylvania, but I get the feeling in Pennsylvania it's probably the other way.
Yeah.
I fuck it. It's just, it sucks here. It's I hate it.
You remember
here,
that SpongeBob episode where fucking SpongeBob's like, stupid dumbo Texas? Yeah. Not the people, because obviously it's not the people's fault that they live in a state that wants to fuck them over. And like we've already discussed, there's only so much that you can do electorally when they're literally like on a national level rigging everything and redrawing districts in their favor. So I do not want to at all disparage the people who live there. You guys need support, and you need to not be abandoned and left behind. But god damn, that fucking governmental structure and the policies there, it's really hard to fucking like, it's really hard to stick around in order to make those changes.
Yeah.
I think it's designed that way. It's designed that way to get people who would vote against them to leave.
It's honestly working because I don't want to be here anymore.
I mean, you could always come up here. Like, I'm in a pretty good area.
I could. I honestly like.
You can live in his basement and pee down the drain.
Stop. Why?
In all seriousness, like, it's pretty affordable housing up here as well. So, you know.
Yeah. I might, but I have to look for a new job and everything. But like here, it's just. I don't want to live here anymore. Like I'm done with this place. Like I am 103,000% done. You know. It's just the worst.
103,000. That's a very
103,000. Yeah, it's a big number. But it sucks. It just fucking sucks here, and I'm done with it. You know, I'm done with it. There's literally nothing here that I want to deal with anymore, and there's nothing here for me. So it's just like, why stay here?
Yeah.
Like if I move to the Northeast, you know, I don't know, things to do.
Yeah, plus for like, if you do want to ever do like major stuff, you know, I'm not too far from Philadelphia, I'm not too far from New York City, I'm not too far from
and if you wanted the source of the sandwich that has fucking occupied fucking Adam's fucking brain noggin for the last fucking 300 decades, fucking forever and all time, you can go to the source itself.
We can get a De Los Sanders and get a cheesesteak.
Yeah. See, I told you. I fucking told you. The easiest way to a British man's fart is the Reggie's steak. Did I just say G's steak? Like with a J?
Yeah.
Reggie's steak.
It's a very
bro, hang on. A G steak. A G steak is a holy fucking steak that has been blessed when it was butchered and then fucking sliced by the fucking priest and then fucking like anointed with fucking holy oil in a Catholic church. The G steak. I just invented a brand new fucking goddamn sandwich, Adam.
I'm gonna check if there's any beef in the downstairs freezer because I'm gonna get like a hamburger melt to settle this craving. Because god damn it, now I want a fucking cheesesteak.
I kind of want a cheesesteak too now. Actually, I'm thinking about it.
I've already committed dinner plans. That mind shit. Actually, speaking of sandwiches, I recently had we'll come back to this afterwards. Xander, tell your story. Sorry.
Oh yeah, and then the thingy that I walked out on though was kind of an interview, but also I already had the job sort of. So fucking when I was about to be homeless for the first time, I had this real. I'm not gonna get into too many details just in case the dude like searches shit up and puts two and two together. It's like that was him and hunts me down and kills me for this because he's probably that insane to do it. I had this interview for this place and the dude was real fucking weird and he's like, I've been betrayed by like fucking coworker by like people I've hired before. Would you be willing to like sign up for a contract and shit? I'm like, what? And I'm like, so like internally I'm freaking out, but externally I'm cool and collected and just like, you know, like giving the right answers and shit. But internally I'm like, what the fuck am I agreeing to and all this shit? And the dude's like, all right, you're hired and shit. And they're like, show up and blah, blah, blah. And then the next day I wake up and I'm about to head to the bus to go to this fucking job. And not only is he not even paying me $15 an hour for this thing, but like, no, I can't do this shit. So then I just bail. I no call, no show this bitch and ghost him. And I end up homeless like fucking 3 days later. And I just fucking go through homelessness instead of deal with that shit.
Jesus.
See, I had one something like that where like I wasn't going homeless, but I was at my last job. I was at Best Buy, and I got this interview for this position where the guy they very much bent the truth of exactly what the position was, which they always fucking do. And I show up there, and like it turns out it's basically selling cell phones and plans at like big box retail stores. You know, those people you always see and they always yell after you as you walk by saying, hey, we're not going to away your contract. And you're like, no. And it's like, oh yeah, it's $300 a week minimum if you don't do this, if you don't hit numbers, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, you kind of lied to me. And he's really trying to sell me on it. And like, I did really well for that interview. He's like, coming back for the second round. I just never showed up for the second round. It was so funny because at the end he said, you aren't giving me the right answers, but I can tell you're apprehensive. And I'm like, damn right I'm fucking apprehensive because I can see right through. The guy was, I don't want to sound like a complete fucking dolt when I say this, but the guy was like several years younger than me. And I'm just like, how much of the Kool-Aid have you had to drink, bud? Like, I'm 29. I'm not going to be like preached at by a 23-year-old who clearly doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about, you know? Again, this is nothing against 23-year-olds. There's nothing against Zoomers. I just kind of, I saw right through this guy and I was like, all right. I never came back for round 2 the next day. I was like, fuck this, I'm out.
You just unlocked this fucking, like, deep-seated, like, repressed memory of mine. That wasn't the end of the story on the fucking dude I ghosted. So I didn't end up homeless the next 3 days. I got a different job at a place I won't name for threat of legal reasons, probably, if they still exist. That was essentially a pyramid scheme. Not essentially, was straight up a pyramid scheme. And fucking, I got hired there to sell like an internet service provider package to people, essentially door to door. But then instead of getting scammed out like that, the dumbest thing happened. Okay, so I get this job, right, and I'm like, they're like, so you start here on this day, and I'm like, all right, cool, no drug test. They're like, no drug test. I'm like, dope. So I go to the place I'm staying with the person I'm staying with, and we celebrate by smoking. And then they fucking, the week later, I show up for this job, they fucking take me to a drug test at the end of the fucking shift. And fucking, I failed the drug test. And the only reason I don't get fucked on this pyramid scheme and go through homelessness without, like, because I still end up homeless, but I feel like ending up homeless was probably better than what would end up here. The only reason I don't end up in this fucking pyramid scheme is because I get positive for weed in a state where weed is legal recreationally.
That is pretty stupid.
I had a similar like that as well before, where I did like an interview at a place. It doesn't exist anymore, so I'll name it. They call themselves Source Interactive. They also name themselves Rocksteady Promotions after a while as well. They will change that into various video game type things to try and lure in, that's that nature.
Rocksteady Productions? Yeah,
Rocksteady Promotions, like Rocksteady the developer, and then Source Interactive, like the Source game engine by Valve. So, like, this was a thing they did, and they don't exist anymore. They completely got nuked off the face of the earth, legally speaking, so I can say what the fuck I want. But they did the same thing. It was like door-to-door internet or door-to-door gas sales stuff, and it was just like, wow, these places, they pop up, they scam people, and they fuck off. And it's kind of scary how there's no real, like, regulations around that.
Jesus.
It's a very common story. It's a really common story.
Yep. Everything about the society and the system we live in is a fucking inherent scam designed to fuck you and the poor person out of what little money you have left. Because the people up top already have all the money, and the most money that they can make now is by scamming you out of what little fucking meager means you have, Mr. $7.25 an hour fucking chump change, bitch. I mean the bitch. I mean that bitch endearingly, by the way. I'm not actually like calling you a bitch. That's like their perspective. I just thought I should point that out. I love you.
I'm just happy that I'm currently gainfully employed in a place that is definitely not a scam, because I'm being paid way too much money for it to be a scam.
My job is risking
I'm
my
quite
mental
happy
health,
where
so
I'm
I
at.
can't say the same.
Well, yeah. I think the other one. Well, the good news is that give me a call. But yeah, Christ, employment's a fun one.
Yeah, I'm still hanging on at my job. I called in the last 2 days because of medical reasons, but I mean, aside from that, I mean, it's not that I hate the job. I'm just not the biggest fan of it, you know?
Well, it's not that you hate the job, it's like you fucking hate people.
Yeah, God, I hate people so fucking much.
To be fair, you also just got your booster, so like, to be fair, when I get my booster sorted out, I'm PTOing the day off after.
Yeah.
Like, fuck that.
Yeah. I don't know. At least I have Christmas Eve and Christmas Day off. Or not Christmas Eve, but Christmas... I have Christmas Day off.
That's good.
So...
You like on Boxing Day?
Yeah.
That's Sunday, though.
I have both those days off.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, my schedule goes back to normal after that. So actually I have all 4 of those days off.
Nice. Yeah, I am off Christmas Eve, which is today. Christmas Day, I'm off Boxing Day. It's so funny. I've got like 2 4-day weeks back to back. It's so funny.
Must be nice.
Then I've got, then of course, New Year's Eve is off. New Year's Day is a Saturday. And then I think the next, January's weird because it's like MLK Day in there as well. So it's like a bunch of really weird weeks back and forth.
Can we just talk about, like, okay, does anyone else find it really weird that we have, like, just the most random fucking holidays?
Not really, because it's, a lot of it is argued for and by, various trade unions, which makes sense,
okay, but,
but
Flag Day. What is Flag Day a thing?
Devon, do you want the day off?
No, because I don't get the day off.
Oh, well, I don't think of Flag Day.
Are you playing Duel Links
someone
while
get
we're
days off
recording?
for?
No.
I just saw you hover over Duel Links on your dashboard and click on Duel Links as your active window. I just saw the window deactivate as you tried to hide it, even though I can only see Reaper.
Exposed! Entire ass exposed.
I just wanted to get my rewards for logging in.
Are you telling me I could have been playing Halo this whole fucking time? All right, you know what? Fuck it. We're an hour in. I can't. I have to talk about Halo. No spoilers, obviously, because for one, I want anybody who's listening right now to play the game, and also Devon hasn't played the story, so I'm not gonna do anything about that. Yeah. Whatever. But like, I have to. I went the whole fucking podcast last fucking goddamn episode, not fucking goddamn talking about Halo. So I have to talk about Halo. Fucking the single player came out. It's the most fucking fun goddamn single player in Halo, and I can say that confidently, purely because the goddamn grapple hook is the greatest goddamn addition to any fucking first-person shooter video game. Not only that, but it has such a small cooldown and just an amazing reach and utility, and it attaches to fucking every material that you can literally fucking goddamn swing tree to tree without fucking hitting the ground. And that is the most pure adrenaline, pure fucking joy I have ever felt in the entirety of my fucking goddamn soul, outside of whenever I fucking met my partner on the moon. That was cool. That was better. But like, aside from that, Halo, it made me feel better. Halo made me feel better than most everything that I've ever fucking felt in my entire goddamn life. It really makes you feel like Master Chief, man. It really makes you feel like Spider Chief. It really makes you feel like Cortana is in your fucking brain going, is my ass too fat in this AI outfit? And Chief going, no, Cortana, it's fine. And then her going, but are you sure though? It's like, Cortana, you're a virtual avatar. You can change your ass if you think it's too fat. But then she's like, but do you think it's too fat? Chief's like, Cortana, the suit doesn't even jack me off anymore. Fat. I don't get a boner. I'm a super soldier.
That's gotta suck.
The only thing that matters about your appearance, Cortana, is if you enjoy it. That's actually an amazing moral of a story that doesn't exist in Halo. But yeah, the only thing that matters about your appearance is if you enjoy it, not if somebody else does. So only change if you want to change. If you're comfortable with who you are and how you look, stay that way. Halo Infinite.
Yeah.
That's not what Halo Infinite's about, but that's what Halo Infinite's about.
Oh, it's not? Oh, shit. Okay,
yeah.
Well.
So I have a couple of criticisms about Halo, though. While it's technically my favorite of all the single player campaigns so far, as far as like just pure gameplay goes, story is pretty good, and it's the best of the 343 games. But I still think Halo 3 is better as far as story goes, just because like, damn, how do you outdo that? But fucking like, the bosses fucking suck. I hate the bosses in fucking Halo Infinite so much. I hate them so much. Doom Eternal spoiled the fuck out of me with their approach to fucking bosses. So Doom Eternal's like, all right, we're going to make bullet spongy, difficult stage bosses and stuff. However, it's not just a sponge. They're a sponge because they have a lot of fucking, like, just health. You can avoid all their attacks. You can get it through all their patterns and shit. There's plenty of stupid shit you can do with the movement utility options. And you can recover and manage your health and fucking, like, do that on the fly. Halo, I understand, is a different game entirely. And the way you manage your health is by letting your shields recharge and shit. But, like, on Legendary, fighting the very first boss, there is no fucking way to adequately fucking maneuver my ass around this fucking area, like, in a way that isn't fucking frustrating or relying on fucking, like, cheap, stupid bullshit to happen. And fucking just, like, it's this frustrating, rechargy bullet sponge that just has this fucking stupid shield that just recharges fucking so fucking fast. And fucking he one-shots you with this stupid fucking tracking bullshit, and his melee fucking shit is literally bullshit. He can just fucking shoop to your fucking location, no matter. So, like, every other, like, enemy in his class, you can, like, juke out with, like, cover and stuff. So, like, if somebody tried to charge you and you, like, got behind cover, they'd slam into that cover and would have, like, a slam animation for that and would actually, like, react to that cover getting her. This guy will just whoop right around the goddamn cover and just fucking hits you, even though you juked properly, and just fuck you. But then sometimes he'll just hit an invisible wall that isn't there, and then smack you with a perfect fucking grenade and one-shot you with that somehow. And I'm so frustrated with this goddamn boss. I just want the legendary ending. I can't look it up on YouTube because that's the bitch thing. I have never ever looked up a legendary ending for a Halo game, but I can't get past the first boss on legendary. And I got past the game on heroic. I got past it on fucking, like, live in front of a studio audience and embarrassed myself and shit too. So it's like, I'm not completely terrible at this game, but I will admit I'm bad. I'm not a good Halo player. But Jesus Christ! All the other encounters before this first boss felt like hard, but if I took it slow and figured out my positioning and all that shit, I'd be able to just get that down. But this boss is like, no, fuck you. You want cover? He doesn't care. His bullets track you. His fucking his melee thing tracks you, and then he switches to a shotgun, and then so he hits you with the hammer and then a shotgun immediately, and you're dead. And it's just like, I want to die. I hate this so much, but I ain't no bitch. I will continue to fucking fight him until probably until the day I die, or until I win. I don't know. But Doom Eternal has spoiled me.
Well, whichever comes
Doom
first.
Eternal has spoiled me on fucking first-person shooter games and the survivability in that.
Well, yeah, because Doom's literally whole thing is putting you right on the teetering edge and then pulling
Yeah,
you
because
back.
I think
I think
Halo's
that's the
approach
thing.
is that I'm supposed to try to, like, poke in and out of cover with this guy, but, like, the grapple hook inherently changes the dynamic of the game, and, like, the way the game feels like it's designed makes me feel like I want to get up close and start doing crazy Master Chief shit, because Master Chief in the lore gets up there. He fucking does crazy, stupid fucking shit, you know? Like, he's, like, sliding around, he's juking people, he's punching people in the face, he's, like, point-blank pistol whipping people, like, that kind of shit. And the grapple hook gives me that maneuverability that makes it feel like, all right, the game is finally designed around this. And a lot of, like, encounters do seem to be like this. But then the bosses are like, no, go back to, like, doing, like, cover and trying to slide down and hold on for dear life shit. When it's like, I understand this is a me problem and not being able to adjust to the gameplay dynamic changing, but, like, ooh, Doom Eternal did bosses so well, and Halo Infinite did not, and it's the only slight that I can think against Halo Infinite is the bosses just are not fun.
So would you say it's your game of the year then or not?
I gotta finish Legendary, you know? So I do have to give it I have to give it a fair shake and see how much of it is just me shitting at the game, and if I can just overcome it and then be like, all right, I see what was going on or whatever. On Heroic, my game of the year, hands down. Like, was the most fun I've had. Like, felt frustrating but balanced on those, like, boss encounters. It felt like I could move around and stuff. Really good. On Legendary, it's making me want to I'm out of respect for my friends who listen to this podcast. I'm trying to find a different way of saying this. It makes me want to scream so loudly that I have to stop playing it so that way I don't get a noise complaint. And it makes me think maybe just PSO2 is my game of the year because I spent almost 700 hours in this fucking game.
You did. You really did.
But Halo Infinite's story and its single player campaign and the experience it gave me, like in the time that I spent with it, it's a concise, well put together, not bloated at all open world experience that is like, it just like, here's the opening 2 intros and then here's one really long open-ended Halo level that you can just kind of do in whatever like way you want to do, and it just feels so fucking good to play. Like Devon's go-to game to de-stress and stuff is like the PS4 PS5 Spider-Man game, and to like just web swinging around.
It is.
I get the same feeling he gets just like maneuvering around with the fucking grapple hook. I got so stressed at work the other day that I like fucking Game Pass cloud gamed fucking Halo Infinite on my break and just fucking grapple hooked through some fucking trees for like 15 minutes and just centered myself. So I don't know.
Fair enough. Yeah, since it is basically... Actually, tell you what, we'll do this one next week, because next week's one will be going live on New Year's Eve. But we should totally do next week, do like our favorite things.
Oh, yeah. We should. That'll give me enough time.
We can do that.
To see whether Legendary
kicks my ass or
not.
I kind of need to sit down and go back through the stuff that I did this year, because like there's a lot of games I didn't finish this year that came out, and because I'm just like depression.
Not just games as well, because like a lot of stuff came out in this last year. That was supposed to come in 2020, that got delayed to 2021. But you know, a lot of stuff came out, and a lot of stuff ended or didn't have an ending. But you know, a lot of stuff kind of really picked back up. And
I mean, I know my go-to movie of the year this year was definitely Spider-Man. For all the new movies and new content I watched this year, that's definitely like hands down the best one I watched.
Yeah, I don't need too much right now, but like King Kong v Godzilla was a lot of fun, I must admit. That was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun, but it didn't hit me the same way that the new Spider-Man film hit me. I'm really... Okay, the reason I haven't been talking so much is because like the only thing I want to talk about is the new fucking Spider-Man movie. Like, if I'm being completely honest, like I have been keeping my mouth shut. I didn't want to spoil it for anybody, especially Xander, because there's a lot of shit that happens in that film that I need him to see and react to appropriately, because I don't want to ruin it. Like, it is
Disney Plus in like a week or two.
It's not. It won't be. I work for them, and I know that they're evil, and they will not. But that's neither here nor there. Man, that's my biggest fucking complaint right now. Oh my god! Like, we're in the middle of a pandemic still. There's a new variant going around. Cases are spiking.
It's only getting worse. Yeah.
For the love of fucking god, you could have released this on like Disney Plus, and people would have spent even more money to watch it.
I'm gonna be completely fucking honest with you guys. I'm going to be 100% Mouse. I hope you're listening to me, because I'm going to admit my fucking weakness
I am listening to you, bitch tits.
I'm going to show you what my kryptonite would have been had you made the right choice, Mouse.
Tell me, I will use it against you in my evil.
I have been against the idea of paying money on top of your subscription to Disney Plus to watch a new movie. However, I would have gladly paid $20 fucking on top of a Disney Plus subscription price to have watched this
30?
in my fucking home.
What about 30?
Yeah.
It was $30 for Mulan.
No. Mulan shouldn't have existed to begin with. You were asking too much for that to even
Stream
existed.
Mulan, you fucking
Mulan
bitch!
sucked. Mulan's so bad.
Fuck you! You suck!
They did surgery on a grape, Mulan. They did surgery on a grape, Mulan!
Well, how's that any of my goddamn problem, you fucking asshole? Fuck you.
Anyway, but yeah, I honestly I really just want to talk about Spider-Man, because like I just know myself too well. If I talk about it, I'm gonna spoil it.
You will consume the Spider-Man merchandise. You will buy the Spider-Man
Mickey,
underwear.
shut the fuck up for a second. Devon, just do what I did when Dune came out, and instead of spoiling it, and instead of talking about it as much as you desperately wanted to, just keep making jokes that allude to things that don't make sense about it at all.
I can't, because if I make a joke about it, I'm
just keep making Willem Dafoe jokes.
Oh,
like
shit.
Willem Dafoe.
Oh my god, sorry. Speaking of new movies coming out, it's fucking blindsided me. We've got like 3 days till the new Matrix hits HBO.
Oh shit! Yeah, that's right.
All right.
Oh
okay.
shit.
Okay.
Son.
Okay.
I need to catch.
Okay.
I watched Matrix forever. I need to rewatch those.
Full disclosure. Full disclosure. Full disclosure. even though The Matrix Resurrections is coming out on streaming, I'm going to risk my life and watch that one in the theater. I didn't even see Dune in the theater.
No, you can dude. You can watch it at home.
I'm going.
If you're gonna do that, at least go to like an 8 a.m.
Yeah,
showing.
so I'm going to go to the. I'm going to go to the Everybody's at Church showing.
Yeah, like an 8 a.m. on a
because
Sunday morning.
I did that with Endgame during a non-pandemic, and there was 3 other people in the middle of the opening weekend. So I'm gonna. The thing about where I live is nobody out here gives a fuck about the Matrix, but everybody gives a fuck about Spider-Man. So I'm going to be alone in the Matrix, but any showing for the next 2 weeks I go for Spider-Man is going to be packed. Did you see it's already breaking box office fucking records?
It's literally like the 3rd best selling.
Pandemic
no,
box office records?
Box office records.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, like concerning level shit. Like, they're going to call Omicron the Spider-Man variant after this. Like, I'm not even kidding. That's how successful this movie is. It has me legitimately worried. Like, Disney fucked up. But they don't care about that.
I'll see you all in Valhalla, fuckface! I hate that voice is so good, by the way.
I hate it. I hate everything about it. No, here it is. Yes. I retweeted it a little while ago. No Way Home exploded globally this weekend. Massive 334.2 million overseas. Second highest international rollout without China of all time. 253 million at domestic. It's
253 million domestic in one fucking weekend.
It's the 3rd highest global opening
of all time.
What's ahead of it?
Endgame and Infinity War are the only things above it.
Makes sense.
Everybody loves Spider-Man, dude.
Yeah.
Spider-Man,
That's the thing. Okay, I
does whatever Omicron can.
I just want to say, like, about this movie. Okay, my issues with Spider-Man is that, again, I've stated them before. I'm not going to say all of them again, but I could just say happily that this film kind of makes Spider-Man again. Like, it sucks to be Peter Parker again, and that makes me happy. Like, and that's all I'm gonna say. Like, it just sucks to be Peter Parker, as it should be, as it always should be and always will be, and that makes me glad. You know, like, the thing about Spider-Man that people like is that he is relatable. Like, you feel like you can understand the character because, you know, it's just, man, my life sucks, or this stuff sucks, but you know what? I can relate to that because that's, you know, he's trying to do everything he can to help people, and his life also sucks. And you know what? I could do better too. And fuck, man, like, that is just fuck. That's why I love Spider-Man so much. And this film, honestly, is like it's in my top 3 Spider-Man films. Like, it's that good. Like, I like, obviously my number 1 is always going to be Into the Spider-Verse, and then, like, Spider-Man 2 is just a good fucking film. This is also a good fucking film. Like, I feel like I don't have to watch like 300 billion fucking other films to, like, enjoy this one. Like, this is honestly like you could watch this one by itself. It's kind of like a standalone Spider-Man film. Because it opens with the ending of the last one, which, fuck, who cares? I don't fucking care. But like, you could literally watch it on your own. You could watch it on its own, and it's a good fucking Spider-Man film.
Make you feel like Spider-Man?
Yes.
Pew 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 pew. Sorry, I made a little.
Like, I want to watch it again. I'm 100% serious.
So
I
hang
want to
on.
watch it again. Do I want to wait until?
You go and watch Spooderman in a theater in a pandemic, but I can't watch Matrix in a theater in a pandemic?
Because I've got my booster shot.
You just got your booster shot. It takes 2 weeks
but
for
I wanna
the
watch it again.
antibodies to actually take effect from that. You're just as
let me finish. Let me finish. I want to watch it again, but I want to wait until I can watch it digitally.
No, I'm saying you already went and saw it in the theater.
Yeah, I did see it in the theater. Call it irresponsible. I'm sorry, but I wasn't going to miss
I'm
that
gonna watch
movie.
The Matrix in the theater.
Okay, fine. I'm just saying you have the ability to watch it digitally. Here's the thing. If I had the option to watch Spider-Man at home, and not have to go to a theater, I would have fucking done it. I would have preferred that anyway. I don't need to go to a theater to watch it.
I have to go to a theater to watch
That was my
The
only
Matrix.
option. You don't. You actually don't.
It was shot for theaters.
That's marketing BS. That's marketing BS all the way down.
It really makes you feel like you're in the cinema.
Xander, I swear to God, I'm gonna
hate that
go
joke.
to the state where you live, and I'm gonna piss on your front porch.
It
when
really
fucking
makes you
freezes,
feel
and I'm gonna
like
leave.
you're the one.
And I'll let you fucking slip in my.
It really
frozen
makes you
piss.
feel like you're in
hate that.
The Matrix Resurrections.
Shut up. Just shut up. I mean, I'm gonna watch it on HBO Max because A, I get HBO Max for free, and B,
Okay. Top
Why
10
not?
reasons The Matrix Resurrections is called The Matrix Resurrections. Number 10, it's called The Matrix Resurrections. Number 9, it's because it's resurrecting the Matrix. Number 8, it's because Lana Wachowski decided to call it The Matrix Resurrections. Number 7, this has been intertitled here. Number 6, make sure to subscribe to Devon
That's how you're gonna
VO on twitch.tv/DevonVO and also on twitter.com/DevonVO. Number 5, make sure to subscribe to Technical Cake Mix on technicalcakemix.com/YouTube. Wrong way. YouTube.com/Technical Cake Mix. There we go. And also twitter.com/Tech Cake Mix. Don't pay attention
Yes,
to me.
Twitter's dumb on
Don't
that,
listen
thing.
to my music. Don't click on my website down in
Pay
the
attention
thing.
to Santa
Don't listen to anybody promote me. Do not acknowledge my existence,
Pay
for I am
attention
just
to
a
Santa
worm.
Clara.
Would you still love me if I was a worm? Vote in the poll
No.
included on Spotify today. For the very first time, we are going to include a poll to our listeners on Spotify. So if you are listening on YouTube,
Actually,
please feel free to go to spotify.com/whatever the fuck. We'll just include the link or whatever. And vote in the poll, would you still love me if I was a worm? That's Alexander Mogus. Would you still love me if I was a worm? Vote yes to vote yes. Vote no to vote no. Vote now.
And on another serious topic, be very safe this holiday. Obviously, it's a little scary right now. Merry Christmas, Happy Krampus. I believe it's also the first day of Kwanzaa, so Happy Kwanzaa to people as well. Obviously, Hanukkah was, a month ago now? Hanukkah was over Thanksgiving, right? This year? Point is, be safe out there, be good, be responsible. For everyone here at Insert Title, happy holidays.
at the end of Spider-Man No Way Home, this character is going